Zoe Honick, and today I will be presenting Little People Like Us.
Hey boss, I think I've got the next big news story. Last night down in South Park, you know, that town near Kansas City, a huge meeting was held in the gymnasium of the new elementary school, where a Jewish lady named Esther Brown was being harassed for trying to integrate the South Park school district. The meeting started out with the chairman of the school district accusing Mrs. Brown of starting a race problem in South Park. After that, it was like Pandora's box had been opened. Citizens started shouting at her, and at one point she's been hit with umbrellas. Yet with all that, she stood in front of them and said, "Look, I'm just a housewife from Kansas, but I've seen the conditions at their school. They're not asking for integration. They're asking for a fair chance." I think Mrs. Brown might be a pioneer in the civil rights movement. It's 1948, the war's over, and it's time for a change. Sir, please approve this idea so all of Kansas City can read about her battle.
Why, I've never been interviewed before. I can't believe that this is going to be in the Kansas City Star. So, what would you like to know? Well, I'm Esther Brown, but you already knew that. I guess this all started back last September of 1947, when my maid Helen informed me about a $90,000 investment to build a new elementary school in South Park. However, because her children are Negro, they're not allowed to attend. But the school was built with everybody's tax money. See, look at the difference between the two schools. This is South Park Elementary School. This school has 8 classrooms, 8 full-time teachers, and 2 part-time teachers. There's new playground equipment, new cafeteria, and indoor plumbing. Now this is Walker Elementary School, where Helen's children have to go. This 2-room school was built in 1868 and has hardly seen any renovations since then. With 44 children in 8 different grades crammed into 2 small rooms, it is impossible for them to get a proper education. And look at this! There's no indoor plumbing, so if these children have to go to the bathroom, they have to walk outside. Or if they want water, they have to go down to the well and bring it up. Originally, I was not fighting for integration in South Park, but instead for these children to get an equal education in an equal facility. But you know what the school board said about that? They said that those kids down at Walker are getting just the same education as those at South Park. Because of this, and with the meeting at the school a few weeks ago, I'm so angry with the school district that I made it my mission to fight for integration in South Park. Hello, Mr. Baker? Hi, this is Mrs. Brown. I'm calling you today to see if you'd be interested in donating money to help support a homeschool program for children who are no longer in the local public schools. Why, yes, sir, but please don't hang up. Please, just listen before you make up your mind. Last September, the city of South Park built an elementary school, but only the white students could attend. When the Negro families found out, they too asked for an equal facility and with equal education. After being denied, they're now taking a stand against Walker Elementary by boycotting the school district. You see, since I did help start this program, I've taken it upon myself to raise funds. That's why, for the past few months, I've been writing letters and making phone calls, trying to ask for any donations that can help keep this homeschool alive so these children do not have to go back to school in a segregated school district. But you see, funds are running low. Most of the parents work low-paying jobs and cannot afford tuition. This program can only survive with the generous help of our donors. Well, now that you ask about it, we are taking a stand against the school board. Right now, we have filed the lawsuit, Webb versus School District Number 90, and I have so much faith that when this goes to the Kansas Supreme Court, segregation in South Park will be illegal. But until this makes it to the Kansas Supreme Court, this case can only survive with the generous help of our donors. Why, thank you, sir. This $25 is going to help out so much. It is now January of 1949, and not all South Park citizens are happy with what's going on in their city. I've been living in South Park my entire life, and not once was there ever a race problem in this little city. Those kids down at Walker are getting just the same education as mine at South Park. No one
situation. But then Esther Brown came down here and stirred up some unnecessary conflict. She convinced those 44 families that their children weren't getting a proper education, and she's led them in a movement against the school board. You know, I've heard people aren't too happy about what Mrs. Brown's doing. I've heard that she's been getting death threats for the past week, and someone even burned a cross in her yard. But who does that silly lady think she is? She's created trouble where trouble doesn't exist. It is now April 9th of 1949, and the Webb versus School District Number 90 has finally arrived at the Kansas Supreme Court. Yes, Judge, I, Corinthian Nutter, understand that I'm under oath right now and will only tell the truth. I've been working at Walker Elementary for the past decade, and not once have I ever seen any renovations done to this school. With 44 children in 8 different grades crammed into 2 small rooms, and only Miss Hazel McCray and I to teach them, it is impossible for them to get a proper education. When Esther Brown asked the school board to give just one more teacher, they refused. When we asked for simple renovations, they refused. When we demanded for integration, they refused. These children aren't getting a proper education because they're the wrong race. Well, this violates their 14th Amendment. As our lawyer, Elijah Scott, previously stated, the city of South Park is violating their 14th Amendment by denying the person of life, liberty, or property. Because these children do not have the liberties to get a proper education, their 14th Amendment is being violated. Schools should not be about the color. They should be about the students. June 11, 1949, the Kansas Supreme Court rules that because the city of South Park not only violated its 14th Amendment, but was also a second-class city, meaning that its population was less than 15,000, segregation is illegal. The state of Kansas says that segregation is only legal in first-class cities. After this, South Park had to integrate. The year is now 2013. Settle down, class, settle down. Now today, we have a very important lesson ahead of us. For homework last night, I gave you all a handout on Webb versus School District Number 90. Now can somebody tell me why this little case has such a tremendous impact on our nation? Anyone? Yes, you, Kyle. Well, I guess you could say it was a turning point for the city of South Park, because now African American children and white children got an equal education. But let's think in bigger terms, shall we? Well, class, the reason this case has such a significant impact on our nation is because it was among the very first cases to deal with integration in the public schools. Once South Park had to integrate, this showed that America was ready for a change. Not only that, but many important integration cases even used Webb versus School District Number 90 as their example. Among the most famous of these was the Brown versus Board of Education case, where Oliver Brown and 5 other families sued the Topeka School District, and this eventually led to integration in all of the public schools. Fun fact, class, Esther Brown even had a crucial involvement in that case. She was the one that convinced Oliver Brown to let Linda take the stand. Lucinda Todd, secretary of the NAACP chapter in Topeka during that time, says that she believes that integration in America would have been delayed years, if not decades, without the crucial involvement of Esther Brown. You see, Esther understood that integration had to happen in little steps. First a small town, then a bigger city, and eventually the entire nation. Because she was able to integrate South Park, this acted as a chain reaction, or turning point for integration in the public school system. When somebody asked Esther one time why she fought for integration in such a little city, her reply was, "It is the little people like us that can make a difference." Well, Esther, you were right. Because of you and your little city, you're now a major turning point for the civil rights movement. Thank you.